What's up everyone, how's it going? So as we all know, Scarif is coming to Star Wars Battlefront 2 this month, and in this video I'm going to be going over all of my hopes for the Scarif update, as we don't really know a whole lot about this one other than the fact that Scarif will be coming for Capital Supremacy. So let's jump right into it with the first thing, and that is actually talking about Scarif itself. And something I would really like to see is for this planet to be available for multiple modes at launch, some of those being co-op, instant action, heroes vs villains, hero showdown, and all the other ones, because what does seem to happen sometimes is when a new planet releases, it only gets released for one mode, maybe two modes, and then in a few months of time we'll get them for the other modes as well. So I'm hoping that Scarif does release for most of the modes in Battlefront 2 instead of just Supremacy, not Capital Supremacy anymore, as this one will have no ship phase for the original trilogy, which we all have our own opinions about. Personally, I am kind of okay with it, as the ground phase is my personal favorite part of it. But then my next thing on this topic is something that's actually really interesting. So whenever the February update did get released, a few people went into the files and data mined some really interesting things. One of the main things was actually star card loadouts. Now, this has been a discussion that the community has been wanting for a long time now, and it seems that finally it is going to be coming. I'll have a video up on the screen right now. I don't really know how to pronounce the Redder's username, but I'll put it up on the screen. It's really interesting, and they're actually able to mod it in, and it's basically you have 3 loadouts that you can use, and I'm sure you can change the name and stuff. So like I said, this was found in the previous update, but it does appear that it was not completely finished, so that's why it was not released. So with the Scarif update, I'm really hoping it is finished by now and that they do release it with this one, as like I said before, it is something the community has been wanting for a long time now, and would just be extremely helpful for like your loadouts for heroes vs villains, even a hero showdown one, and then your main galactic assault or capital supremacy one. But then next up for this update in March, something that I do have high hopes of coming is instant action for the original trilogy. I was expecting it to come with last month's update, but it appeared they mainly focused on co-op, as we got 7 or 8 different co-op maps for the original trilogy. So I do think instant action will more than likely be coming for this era this month. And I gotta say, I am still holding on to hope for Cray and Scarif to come with this update for instant action, as it appears to be left out, so hopefully it does come sometime sooner than later. And then next up on my list is something that I do think has a high chance of coming, and that is actually multiple Empire skins. So currently we have basically 0 customization options for the Empire besides the officers, and even that class doesn't have any armored options. And if you guys did play Battlefront 2015, you would remember how many different customization options you guys had for the Empire. There was a ton, but some that I would love to see in Battlefront 2 are the Shock Trooper, and then they could even bring back the Shadow Trooper that was also available in 2015. And then what would be essential for the Scarif update is the Shore Troopers. Now, I have asked you guys over in the community if you would rather see the Shore Troopers come as either a new reinforcement or appearance, and most of you guys agree that appearances would be really great to see. And I do agree with you. I think they're just such an iconic look, and the fact that we don't have any really customization for the Empire, it would be a nice addition to the game. But I think a unique detail for this game that they could do with Scarif is that whenever you are playing on it, every single player playing as the Empire would automatically use the Shore Trooper appearance, and it's basically just locked in for that. I think this would look really great on this map and just really immerse you in the game. But yeah, I do think that skins are really necessary for this update, as it has been pretty lackluster for the Empire especially, and they could even add in some Rebellion skins too. I would be completely fine with that. But next up, I want to talk about new weapons. Now, obviously, we did get 4 new blasters with the latest update, which was a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one, and I am so glad that they are finally bringing in new infantry blasters, so I hope they do continue with that trend with the Scarif update. And one that I would absolutely love to see is actually called the E22 Blaster. Now, this is actually the gun that the Shore Trooper used, and I'm sure this could work well for the Assault class. And then I would also like to see 3 more blasters as well, 1 for each class, of course. But I do think if they bring in the Shore Trooper as an appearance rather than a reinforcement, I do think it would be really great to include their blaster as well for those players that did like to see them as a reinforcement. Plus, the gun just looks awesome, and I am an assault main, so I'd love to see it in the game. And finally, I don't think I could end this video without talking about new heroes. Now obviously those would be Jin Urso and Director Krennic. Personally, I just don't see them coming, at least not in this update, as the developers have never really hidden a hero coming in a future update. They usually let us know 3 or 4 months beforehand, and they really haven't given any clues as to these heroes coming to the game. As much as I would love to see them, and I think they would look great on Scarif, if there's any chance of them coming, I do believe it would be sometime in the future rather than the March update, as they would want to advertise it as much as possible. But at the end of the day, this is DICE, and they have always thrown some great surprises in with some of these updates, so there is still a chance that they do come, but personally, I really wouldn't expect to see them in this game. Either way, I am actually super excited for this update. Scarif was one of my favorite maps in Battlefront 2015, and just one of my favorite planets in Star Wars as a whole, so the fact that they are importing it over is really great to see, and I would also love to see different weather variants for this map. That's something that they had with most of the base maps that came with the game at launch, but it seems like the new ones, they have zero weather variations or even time variations, so it is something I hope they do continue to look into. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts down below on this. What are your hopes for the Scarif update? What blasters would you guys like to see if they do add any, or even skins, or even the heroes for all we know? Just go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. But that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure and leave a like on it, as it really helps out the channel a lot. And if you're new, subscribe for more Star Wars news, gameplay, and more. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one.